Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing all right. Everyone had a good Christmas and New Year. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Got the afternoon off, so thought I'd have a quick look at how some of the tender stuff has done with the protection that I have afforded it over the last night or two. It's been the first, what I would say, hard frost of the year. We did get a slight frost a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, but yeah, it was definitely a hard frost. All the fatsias drooped down, the schefflers drooped down, stuff has finally happened. So in general, what I've got in the garden, if we start from here, is just insete, bananas, a couple of ferns and whatnot. We'll go through them in a minute. And then I would say the two most important plants or sets of plants we got are the cyathias. They're all Cyathea cooperi, various sizes, and then the giant Burmese honeysuckle, which is over there against that pergola. So those are the things we're worried about. There's a few other bits that have taken little digs. So let's pop around and have a look. So really, first things, I'm all about improvement and then, trying to get things dialed down. Because the thing is with these cyathias, what I want to do is perfect the method as best I can for keeping them alive outside without going to OTT. I don't want something that I need to put up and it be up for 6 months if I can help it. If I have to, then I will do. But I'm going to work my way sort of from the easiest through up to more work and more work and more work, and we'll see if there's a tipping point where it seems to do a trick. And then once I've got that sussed, I can then get some big, Cyathea medularises and the diabeltas and put you see where that sort of conifer is right in the centre bed, like maybe put one there. So if I know a technique that's going to work, then it'll keep them, and maybe one at the back, around where the canner is, somewhere like that. But that's for future thingy. But although thinking about it, where that canner is there, which we'll go and have a look right at the back, which is all died off. I'm just thinking a black medularis there, Cyathea medularis, with the black fronds against the sort of orange reddy fence. That will really stand out because there'll be nothing behind it. So that's quite a good idea. And then the diabeltas have got like a silver underside to the fronds, like a Lophosauria. So one in where that conifer is would be perfect. It's got loads of room to open up a full canopy, and then we'd be able to sit down here where we spend most of the time and look up underneath the fronds. So yeah, that sounds like a plan. You see, decisions are being made already. But anyway, back to the improvement. So I think with this, the big thing is I just rigged that up in about 5 minutes last night. You can see I've just used clothes pegs and just rammed a bit of bamboo through the wires on the fence space and just lent it over there on the climbing frame. And that's a good thing. I've got quite a lot to work with vertically here. I've got two fence posts, the fence trellis that I can tie it all to. It's not the ideal shape for me. Ideally, I'm trying to get the sun out of it. Ideally, it would be good to mimic the shape of, you see how it's like they're kind of like funnel shaped, aren't they? So it'd be nice to mimic that. And what I was thinking is that if I got just bamboo and jammed it right in the ground and had it coming up and kind of all the highest and the widest points of it. So for example, for this frond that's coming up to the right, where it's kind of like in an N shape, doesn't it? And then on the right, it sort of ducks back down. So I would need to, dead underneath that yellow peg, basically, put a bamboo in the ground up to that height so that it kind of the fleece can sit on top of it, almost like a circus top sort of thing, and then put one about 6 inches to the right of the end of the frond so that it could sit over and then have it drag down, because these cyathias, they're kind of like the Nephrolepis and the Norfolk Island pine, which we'll see, in that it's not so much like the Dixonia where the frost, if you get frost on the fronds, then they go black. It's more the coldness of the air. So even though I've got this protection, I'm sure this has actually done quite a lot to even keep them standing now. To actually keep them, proper alive, probably going to have to fill in all the outsides with fleece and have it a bit closer to it to try and keep some of the heat in from the coil. Speaking of the coil, let's have a look at how we're doing. I did have it on about 10 minutes ago and then I've turned it off again. So you can see this one out here, I've put them on the floor because I didn't have time last night to hang them, which I would normally do. So I just wanted to repeat conditions for both temperature sensors. But that one at the moment is reading 3.1 and that one is what, 18.6. So yeah, that you know, it's doing a job. That's the main thing. You can see big dig here on this Crozier is collapsed. It did take a little bit of a dig with the last frost a couple of weeks ago, but this one's done it in. So it was quite high up that, but it just goes to show the coils aren't foolproof. But as long as they keep the furry bit warm, I'm not amazingly worried. Anything else is a bonus. But if we have a look at some of the fronds, you can see some of them have got these, you know, blackened off at the edges and things. And there's also a good contrast is there. Can you see how lively the green is of the Dixonia frond, and then how sort of dead the green is of the Cyathea frond behind it? So although they're still standing and they still look green, I fancy all of these Cyathea fronds are going to be dead in a couple of days' time. I'll have to chop them off, but you know, it is what it is. We're just making improvements each year until we dial it in. You can see I've just shoved a load of leaves in the Dixonia there, so that one's doing all right. As I said, the Fatsias and the Schefflers all sort of drooped down, but they're all good now. Cyathea number 2 here. This frond was new with the last frost and is completely burnt off now. Crozier number 2 has collapsed on this one. That is in a coil, but it looks like I haven't taken the leaves out from around it yet. So how much that is getting through, they'll probably die, those two fronds as well, going up against the fence. The new Dixonia, yeah, you know, fronds not really got any shelter there apart from the Fatsia. So yeah, they've blackened off and they'll probably go, but there's a couple of leaves in the crown there, so hopefully that's all right. This Cyathea, which hasn't got any protection at all, no coil, nothing above it, no nothing. Crozier number 3 collapsed. They look like they'll all go as well, those fronds, maybe. Maybe not. They look a bit dead to my eye. Canna, finally blackened off, so I haven't got any mulch at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll wait after tonight. It's supposed to go back up to sort of 5 degrees, so I'll give them all a chop then and mulch over them, ready for next year. This Lophosauria is doing okay. Doesn't look, it's not got that dead green to it that the Cyathea has, so he might be all right, that one. I think it depends what we get tonight. Down here, just to show you something, but I noticed it the other day, but it looks like I've got 3 Tetrapanax pups in there that I didn't notice. So if they survive, I'll pot on that. That was because the Tetrapanax, which is in Camellia Corner, was where this Scheffler is now. So yeah, that one looks okay. The Willemi did all right. It did have a heavy frost on it this morning, but it seems okay. Haven't done anything with that protection wise. The small offcut of the Lophosauria from the big one that was by the giant honeysuckle, that looks like a dead grey frond to me, so that one will probably go. That one will probably go. The new one will probably go. Maybe 1 or 2 of them might survive. Atrata, all the Atratas looked absolutely fantastic this morning. I'll see if I did take a photo and I'll put it up now just for you to have a quick glance at, but yeah, they look really good with the frost on them, and you can see it hasn't done any damage to them. This Lophosauria here, yeah, seems pretty good. Couple of black bits on it here and there, but yeah, it's not all black and dead. That's the main thing. So next main thing I'm worried about frost wise is the giant honeysuckle. You can see it looks pretty good. Now all the leaves, every leaf on it virtually this morning, including all the ones down there by the bench and all that, were like that this morning, all sort of curled up. Like that, all curled up and droopy, and they'd lost their colour, but now they actually look just falling down the thing. Now they actually look really good, so that's pretty good. I think the thing is with this is that you can see I've got some heating running around the main stem that I want to keep going and coiling up around it, and then the coil around the main bit at the bottom, which is a little bit exposed to the air. That if I get a nice big bushy plant in there somewhere to protect it all, then I might take the coil out. But yeah, for now, until it hardens up, I'm pretty confident it's all right. We'll leave it on there. But yeah, so it's kind of hopefully going to be a self-regulatory thing, this, where it'll grow up again, and then the new growth, half of the new growth will keep the frost the next year off of the rest of it. The second half of it will harden up, and so on and so forth, until we get a few years down the line. It's sort of protecting itself from frost, if that makes sense. That's the plan anyway, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, he's doing all right, and the frost nipping off all the new stuff, which it has done. You can see it's all drooping down and all that. We'll give it a kind of self prune and hopefully keep it quite bushy and like invigorated. But we'll see. It's all experimentation. And then finally, just down here, there's the Tetrapanax and the couple of Dixonias in there. Camellias are all right. You can see them there. So yeah, I'll just leave that like that. Again, with that, I might prong some bamboo sticks in it just to take it so it's not touching, because that's rested on the plants there, which probably isn't good. And then yeah, finally down here, we've got a few in here. We'll just go and have a quick look at them. So we've got the Nephrolepis cordifolias. They're the 3 hanging baskets. We've got this Norfolk Island pine, which is looking a little bit rough. We'll see if that sorts itself out. Hopefully we can get some rain, and I'll chuck that out in the rain just to reinvigorate it a bit. We've got a Musa basgio cheese plant, other half of the Lophosauria, cycad, insete, and a Dixonia fibrosa. Down all in there. That's just, you can see, resting on top of it, but it's under the roof, so hopefully that'll do a job. So yeah, that's it really. Yeah, tweak these Cyathea ones, and then yeah, we can start messing around with some other stuff. So anyway, hope you're all having a good day, and your gardens haven't been, frosted off and all that. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.